Hey, good morning, Zach. Today I am going. My name is Sakshi Sani. I'm studying Master of International Hotel Management in ICHM, and today my topic is the comparative analysis of barriers in attracting and retaining skilled workers between the Western and Asian hospitality industries. A systematic review. And yeah, in the next slide, if I talk about introduction, so today I'm sharing my systematic review proposal about the challenges in hiring and holding on to employees in hospitality companies across both Asian and Western market. It shall investigate the significant worker shortage in global hospitality sector and discuss the problem companies face in each region when managing experts. And in the next slide, I'm going to put the my video video link in this slide. And in the next one, if we talk about the research background, so since after the pandemic there is a global shortage of talent in the hospitality industry, and both the European Union and United States are working with 9% less staff than they did before the outbreak, and 36% of people under 35 in Asia Pacific regions are planning to change jobs due to differences in salaries and a lack of the right skills. AI based adopted quickly, approximately 23.8% projected growth by 2030, and new demands from workers increase the challenges in recruitment. So, it's necessary to compare regional hurdles as well. If we talk about the problem statement, the problem statement is like about in the if we talk about the western regions, they are facing problems related to shortage of workers since the UK left the European Union. So approximate they are facing 196,000 missing workers and an increase in people who are retiring, like 27% baby boomers exiting the workforce. People in Asia look down on service jobs, and luxury hotels see over 40% of their staff leave. Yet, most people are happy on the job, but nearly 40% of workers changing companies, and compensation challenges show that situation should vary in different regions. So situation is like according to different regions. So what are the aims and objective? So the aim so I seek to understand how regional areas, how regional areas differ in managing hospitality talent, because in the like in the cities and in regional area they holding their talent in different ways. So I shall examine what influences cultural and organizational practices, the main purpose of barriers and main problems impacting the hiring, retaining of employees in both western and Asian markets. So in the next slides, we are gonna talk about the scope of research. If we talk about the scope of research, so by my analysis consider major Western countries to examine in contrast to 12 main Asian countries, and that is like Vietnam, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Australian, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korean, Singapore, and mm, Taiwan. So the main concern about the countries in the with recent article is to keep them contemporary, covering each hospitality area except basic position. So we are not gonna do it like uh, doing about the basic position, but the higher level. Data for the research comes from empirical articles published in academic journal after peer review. And in the next one, if we talk about the significance of the problem, is that so critical knowledge, there is some like a critical knowledge gap which affect over 1 billion workers in the region are specifically covered in the research. Though my research also provide billions of billion workers in region are specifically covered in this region, and my research I can provide right strategies to hospitality organizations. It also helps government develop new policies and direct school to design useful learning plans, ultimately making the workforce and economy thrive. So the more significance is in and if we talk about the literature review, so if we see on our literature, so it is clear that clear from existing literature that global site of employment are comparable, but it also shows some differences by region. Almost half of the companies around the globe struggle to find skilled workers, but the problem look very different in various regions. And systematic reviews gives us dependable evidence, though learning about particular industries can be difficult without first-hand data. So we need to get the first-hand data to learn about the uh, industry, specific industry. And in the next one, if we talk about the Asian IT market, it also shows that many internal, because IT is also important for the hospitality as well. So we are also discussing about the IT. The Asian IT market shows many internal differences which call for carefully designed strategies, because in the case like we are going towards the AI and more cyber attacks are coming on their way. So we also need some IT professionals to combat them, and young professionals on survey are more likely to think they will change jobs often, so they want to switch their jobs when they get a new job. From the Chinese case study of Shenzhen, we see that the policies enforced by the government can influence how data are stored in distant ways. So it shows that that how we can how we can store our data in different ways, and so attention to local policies is important. In the next one, so in the next one, we also have some comparative study. So this comparative study shows among different parts of the world, which identify basic HRM differences between the West and Asia, between the West world and the Asia. The quality of infrastructure greatly affect how a company relies on digital transformation and keep its workforce. Although systematic reviews present useful foundations, their wide approach may not capture the variation that exists in each country and thus benefit from being analyzed separately. Employees in Asia, if we talk about the employees of the West and Asia, so employees in Asia prefer perks based on relationships, and those in the West are mostly focused on professional advancement. Temporary improvements in retention through flexible work happen, but more permanent solutions need to deal with low wages. Some African hotels protected their staff from leaving by offering resilience training, as compared to the UAE employees reacted against certain culture changes due to the high power distance norm. If we talk about the literature gaps, so most of the studies on the subject examine only one market, such as Abeka and Shazan, and there are not many comparative frameworks for investigation disparities in different regions. So quantitative methods such as SE and model do not consider cultural obstacles, and brief datasets may miss long-term changes in the gig economy after the pandemic. Researchers should start using a mixed combination of approaches to design retention strategies that work worldwide. And at last, so at last, so